you're ready to go.
Happy New Year to all my stamping peeps. This is a brand new year, so decided to do something a little different. And today I'm going to do a video to show you how to make this really cute little police car card. I made them into thank you cards, but you could make them into birthday cards or congratulation cards or even a retirement from the police force card. It's really cute and it's really easy. First, I'm going to give you the measurements. The base of your card is 5.5 by 8.5, and I used crumb cake, and then I scored it at the 4 1/4 mark to make the fold. Then on the inside, you know me and my layering, I did a black layer, and the black layer is 5 1/4 by 4, and then the white is 5 by 3 3/4. Now normally I would tell you to stamp before you put your white piece in, but I didn't do that this time. Went ahead and started with the basic base for this card, and I've already got that part done. Now for the road that we're going to be putting on it, that's this piece right here. This piece is gray, basic gray, and it is 6 by 2 inches. And then how I made the little dots on the lines here is I took a 1/4 inch piece of yellow paper, and this is called Daffodil Delight, and it is I did 10 inches. You don't need 10 inches. You just need 5 pieces about the same size, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute because I eyeball a lot of stuff. So we're going to do that first. Now, I like to dirty my cards and dirty my edges and things just because it gives a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to do that real quick like on the gray. And there's several different ways that people dirty their edges, or they distress their edges. The quickest and easiest way that I like to do it is just my sponge in here and then just around the edges. Now, on this piece, you don't have to go around all 4 edges. At this point, all you want to do is basically your 2 side edges and 1 long edge. And I'll show you why in a minute. Now, this piece is kind of put at an angle. So I made it long enough that you wouldn't be frustrated with trying to get it to match up just so. Got to get back under this camera here. So it would match up just so, and we're going to trim it once we get it glued. So I went ahead and glued the sides where I've dirtied, and then you want to take another strip kind of down the middle, not at the edge because you're going to be cutting that off. And then you're going to cover up this corner here and kind of angle it so it kind of looks like this at first. And then on the back side, you're going to see that. Then I took my scissors and I just trimmed it off. And that's going to give you your road, or part of your road. Okay, so you've got it trimmed like that. It kind of gives you an incline, a little bit of an incline. Then you're going to come back in with your dirtying, with your gray, and you're just going to go along that one edge and the other edge that you had to cut off a little bit too. I'd go ahead and dirty that one twice just because I'm not sure how much I'm going to be cutting off. So anyway, you've got your gray here in your road, and you can go ahead and take that and put that out of the way. Let me get a table here. Okay. Now, I'm a big eyeballer, and I know those of you that know me don't really like to do that. But on this, that's all I did is I eyeballed. I took one piece and got it to about the length that I wanted it, and then I just kind of cut 5 more off of it to make the little dots in the road. And you can make these any size. They don't have to be big. They don't have to be small. They could be whatever you want it to be. And like I always tell my girls, there's no mistakes. There's only room for creative opportunity. And I've made plenty of cards where I've become creative because they didn't turn out the way that they were supposed to, or I thought they should be. Okay, put that piece off to the side. Then I take the first piece and I use liquid glue. I like the Tombow, that's my favorite. When I'm doing my piece art or my punch art, that's what I use. It holds the pieces together. I've learned that the hard way with having some pieces not. Okay, now this one you're going to come off the corner and see the glue squirt out there. I always have a semi-dry wet one by my hand. And what I mean by semi-dry, it's not fresh out of the package. It's dry, and I go in there and I wipe off the excess glue. And then you're just going to make your line, putting in the extras. This glue is very sticky. It can be kind of frustrating at times, but it really, really does hold the best, I think. And don't worry, I'm going to come in with my wet one. Just kind of see how you just kind of trim the glue. And this is a line in the street, so again, it doesn't have to be straight. They never are straight in the streets anyway. And just gonna keep going. And a rule of thumb is you want to use uneven numbers. So you want to use at least 5 of these, even if you have to trim it off at the end, like you're going to do this one here. Just because your eye goes to that negative or to that odd number. And so when I'm making cards, I try to keep that in mind. When this is dry, I can come back with my what we call snot rag, or snot eraser, and it's an adhesive eraser that we use in my classes, and we call it that. So there's my line of the card. Now I went ahead and attached already using my modern label and my word window. Thanks so much at the top here. So that's all done. So my card base is completed. So now we're going to work on the card. Now what I did on the card, and I'm going to kind of give you the card pieces. Here's a black piece, and I cut this 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. Now this card is done with actually very little punches compared to some of the punch art that I do. And most of these you could probably do by using something else if you didn't have the exact punches. But this piece is 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. It's basic black. And then I used a piece of white, and this is 2 1/2 by 1 1/2. And those two pieces I corner round. Now I have this corner rounder. The single corner rounder is fine too. I tend to feel that this is a more comfortable grip for me. And it has a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch size, and I use the 1/2 inch on both of these. And if you're doing more than one card at a time, I typically do 4 to 8 cards at a time. You can corner round these all together. So you could put all 8 pieces in at the same time. And that's the other thing I like about this too, is that you can do more than one piece. So those are corner round. Now on this one, really you only need to do what you would consider your top 2. And then we're going to adhere that. And I did, let's see, whoa. Let's use this here. Now what I'm doing here is I'm making my windshield, or my windows, I guess you should say. So you want to kind of just glue that on the back like that. And it needs to be centered or a little more to your rear end of the car, just so you have a little bit more room up here. On one of my cards I didn't do that so well. Okay, then the next piece you're going to take is this white piece here. Now I just took this and printed it on the computer and then cut it down to the size that I need. And the font that I used was Cooper Plate Gothic Bold, size 24. And you're just going to cut, this is a freehand thing, and again, some of my ladies do not like freehand things, but it's really simple. You're just going to kind of cut in, and then you're going to cut up and round this corner. So you have just a little bit of, it's like a wave, is basically what you want to do. And we're going to take the glue. We're going to glue this on. Now I brought this right up to the front of the, my wet wipe again. Oh, goodness gracious. Don't do that. That's easy to fix though. And afterwards, like I said, we'll come in with a snot eraser and erase that all up. And once this glue grips, it grips really, really good. Okay. No. Okay, so here's what